Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Andrew Pressley, also known as Yo Andrew P on Instagram. Today, I'm going to be showing you my little Lightroom workflow on how I edit some of my pictures. Real quick, before we jump into it, make sure you're following Hive Creatives on Instagram, especially if you're a photographer. Hive is all about like connecting creative people, and they also host Instagram meets, and you don't really want to miss out on those. They're really fun. I've attended some of them myself. Also, be sure to stick around for the end of the video because I'll be telling you how you can get your hands on some Lightroom presets made just for you guys watching this video. So let's go ahead and get into it. To start, I'm going to be showing y'all, these are the two images I'll be working on, is this one right here, and I'm going to be doing this one right here. This is actually my girlfriend JD, so shout out to JD. She always does a good job modeling for me. I'm going to try to mimic these edits for you and kind of show you how I got this look. And so yeah, let's get into it. This one right here is mainly, I'm going to do before and after here for you. So this is what it looks like. This is before and then after. I'm going to do it a few more times. After, let me go back to this other one real quick. This is after, so before, after. This is going to be like a vintage, this is going to be like a vintage vibe for studio. This one also is like an outdoor one. You could put this on an outdoor shot as well. And this is mainly going to be for outdoors right here. Let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and reset these pictures. Alright, so first thing first, let's go ahead and get that Instagram crop. It's the 4:5, that is the ratio, so that's really important to go ahead and do. I think about right there will work for me. I don't want to take too much away. Alright, let's go ahead and add some exposure. I'm not going to do too much. I'm not going to touch the contrast just yet. Highlight, I kind of do this, actually I'll show you. So I'm going to drag the highlights down a bit. I'm going to take these shadows up. Whites down a bit. And maybe the blacks up a tad. So I kind of get this on all my edits. I kind of get this little Z figure going. Sometimes it could be like this. You can get this little Z going, but in this case, that's what it's gonna look like for now. Let's go ahead and head into the clarity. One of the grossest tools out there, as you can see. You don't ever want to put too much or too less. Too much, kind of gross. That's like Bear Grylls right there. And then if you take it all the way down, you start to look like an angel. So I usually like to take out a little bit. Usually I kind of stay no less than -10. So I'm going to do about -8 right there where it fell. I'm going to take the vibrance down just a tad. Not too much. Saturation, we're going to go ahead and drop this bad boy all the way down. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to flatten out my image right now, make all the colors kind of flat looking, and I'll explain why in a second. So let's go. Actually, I'll tell you why right now, because we're going to do all the coloring within the tone curve. So started to flatten, started to do a little bit of editing here. We're going to drop down into the saturation. If you're on the color up here, shouldn't be on this. If you're on color, maybe drop into the HSL. It might be a little easier. I think it's a little easier for me. Let's head and go ahead and maybe bump the saturation. You don't ever want to bump up too much red saturation. You're really going to see a lot in the, if you're shooting a portrait of a person, you're going to really see a lot in their lips. So you don't ever want to bump that up, it'll really start to show. We're gonna add a little bit of orange, not too much. We'll leave the yellows alone. We'll go ahead and drop these greens since they were overbearing. Yeah, about there will be fine. Let's go ahead and drop these blues. About there. If you have chromatic aberration, you can go ahead and click that, or click remove chromatic aberration. Always click both of these. These are really important. And then if you still, sometimes you still have it, so you can drop these, the purple and your magentas, and that will pretty much remove the rest of it for you. I'm going to go ahead and add some exposure so this isn't looking too dark for y'all. Leave it about right there. So that's it for the saturation. I'm going to go ahead and head into the hue. This is pretty much where you, this is like a color changer. You can change your reds from like a pink to the orange over here. And same with your oranges. You can change your oranges to more of a red or more of a yellow, and so on. So we're going to go ahead and leave the red alone. Let's drop the orange to about right there. That'll be fine. I'm not going to go crazy on these. Yellow, let's go ahead and drop this a little more than the orange. And let's go ahead and up the greens. Let's change the green color a little bit. And maybe the blues. Try that out. Do that. That'll work. Alright, luminance. Luminance, if you don't know what luminance is, this is your brightness of your color. So, for instance, I have a lot of greens in here. You can make them dark or you can make them bright. It's pretty much a color brightness. So let's go ahead and get into this one. We're gonna bump up some oranges, make those a little brighter, make our yellows a little darker. That should be cool. And maybe drop our greens, make them kind of dark right now. Sometimes you'll come back to these at the end and you'll change them. This isn't a set thing right now. This is just kind of how it gets started. Let's bring the blues. I always touch the blues. Bring those down a little. You can leave the purples and magentas alone. Let's now do our split toning. So this will bring back, we're going to start to bring back a little bit of color starting with the split toning. So let's go ahead and pull some purplish pinks. Let's go for that. About there, we're going to head in, only give it a little, like 9 or so. And for the shadows, so that's pretty much going to hit only the highlights on your picture. And this will work on shadows. You'll really be able to see this one. We're going to take this one to the green, since there's a lot of green in the picture. So we're going to hit about the 150s or so. That'll probably be good. And we'll hit about 10 right there. Alright. So we got a little green color in there. There's a little green on the skin. Don't worry about that right now. Now for the tone curve. Now, this is going to get really weird. Just stick with me. It will look a little funky, but I promise you at the end, after I finish the curve, you will have a really nice looking picture. But this is called coloring with a tone curve. So we're going to go ahead and give this 2 points. A lot of people know about this. We're not gonna hit it that much though. We're only gonna bump this up a tad bit. I don't want to go too high. Some people really like to crush the blacks and kind of looks wonky. And for the black, or for the, we'll probably leave this about there. Actually, we'll probably leave this one about just barely above, and we'll go ahead and bring the highlights down a bit. That'll probably be good. Alright, now for the colors. So we're going to go ahead and head into the red. Now there's going to be a lot of points for this one, so sometimes there'll be 2 in each box right here. And so I'll put another here, here, 2 for that box, this right here. I'm going to add one right in the middle. I'm going to add 2 more here and here. And then a point, how about here and here? Yeah. Alright, so for the reds, this is going to be your red side. I'm going to show you. You can see the reds coming in right there. And this will be more of your cyans, hint of blue, hint of green. So I'm going to undo that real quick. Whoops, just added a point. Delete. Alright, so we're going to take your shadows and we're going to give it some reds. It needs just a hint of that. We're also going to drop this into the cyans just a bit. How about there would be good. This is gonna end up being an S curve as well, so that's kind of what you work with on the tone curves. Go ahead and drop this down here, and this one can go about right there. So like I said, it's gonna look really weird at first, but as I get through these colors, you'll really start to see where the color is going to come back, and it's going to really look natural. Let's see, I just did that one. Alright, let's hit this one. Let's bring this one over a tad bit. And we'll bring this point up. Let's start to get that S curve back. We'll start shaping that out. And we'll bring this one up. Go ahead and bring this one actually up here. And about right there. Let's go ahead and bring this one out a little. We'll take this one up, almost there, and that'll probably do it for the curve on that one. Alright, let's go ahead and head into the green. The green's going to pretty much look very, very similar. We're going to hit 2 points here, add another point about here, and another point here, 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 there, and about there and there. Alright, let's go ahead and raise the green up, just like we did last time with the red. Bring this down. Oh, and also, so these are your greens on this side of the triangle. I'll show you. That's more of your greens. This will be all your purples, magentas, and things like that. So those are the colors you'll be working with on this one. So you're working with greens and your purples, magentas. Let's see, we were right here. Let's go ahead and bring this down. It's about there. Let me get this full screen. Go ahead and bring this one down. You can start to see some of the skin tone coming back. There's still a lot of blues, but we're getting closer. Let's go ahead and bring this over a tad bit. And bring this one up. Start forming that top part of the S. And about there. About This actually needs to probably come out a little more. This needs to be about here. And that for the green S. That looks pretty good right there. Alright, this is where all the color is going to come into play. So I'm going to put my points and show you what we're going to be working with on this one. Cool one about here. So 2 there again. Another one about there. Another one about there. Let's go ahead and hit the middle one again. And one about, yeah, right there. Let's hit another one here, here, and there. That'll work. Alright, so the colors we'll be messing with here are of course going to be the blues. That's what's going to be on this side right here. And then your yellows, your warm colors over here. Again, let's go ahead and bring this up. And when I get about right in here, when I start editing, probably this point right here is when you're really going to see the color come back and you'll be like, oh, okay. Right about here for that one. And about there. See, almost. I'm not even to that point yet. And bam, pretty close. Pretty close to what I showed you in the beginning. Not that crazy. It does look funny in the beginning, but it does come out in the end. Go ahead and bring the middle point up. And let's get the top form of the S. Let's bring that up. And same with that one. That was about there. And about there. And there. Alright. So that's pretty much it on that. Let me show you a few extra things. I'm going to go ahead and edit it and make it look a little better to my liking. Let's go ahead and bring this up. Give it some more exposure. Let's give it a lot more exposure. Bring these highlights down a little. The shadows up even more. Maybe take out, and we'll leave that about right there. That looks about good. Let's go ahead and show you before and after. Before, after. Looks pretty solid. Alright, a few other things. In sharpening. Don't know how many of y'all know this, but this is a little trick. Sharpening usually is already at 25%, or at 25, should I say, and that means pretty much everything is being sharpened. Every part of this picture is being sharpened, but you can change that. So if you hold down your Alt or Option key, you can, as you're holding it, you can move this. See, you can see all the white. Everything white is being sharpened. So as you move it down, like I said, everything white is being sharpened. So all the black isn't being sharpened. So you can really change it if you only want a little bit of your picture sharpened, then change it to your liking. I'm going to probably leave it about here, and that's all that's going to be sharpened. Everything else is going to be, of course, not. And let's see, where am I at? Okay, on the vignette, or vignette, however you say it, I call it vignette. This is a little trick. I've never seen a YouTube tutorial on this, on a vignette. I kind of just found this out myself, just playing around. So go ahead and add some vignette to your picture. Give it about a good 20, and we'll change this. And then go to your feather. and drop it all the way to your left. Now notice I'm going to add a little more up here. Notice the ring around your picture. That is where your vignette starts, and the feather then brings it in even more. So your roundness will change the circle. So I don't like mine that round. I think that's way too much. So when you do bring that feather down, you can really see the circle moving and where the actual roundness is gonna be. So I like to take mine about right there. That works for me. And then you can add your feather back, and then right here, this is a good spot to watch. You can just watch the feather kind of just fade into your picture, and it looks really cool. And then once you put that feather back, you can then lower your amounts, so it doesn't have to be too overbearing. Let's go ahead and add some more exposure. I want a little more. Yeah, it's looking good. So that's a little trick with the vignette. You can add grain if you want. I'm not too big on the grain. I do like it here and there, but for this picture I'm just going to leave it off. I think that covers this picture. Here's a before and after again. Alright, let's go ahead and edit this other picture right here. We're going to get into sort of a vintage feel for this picture right here. So first things first, let's go ahead and get our Instagram crop 4x5. That's already good, that works. I noticed the floor was dirty when we shot, so I'm going to go ahead and spot remove some of this stuff. This is a really handy tool, and I probably don't need to use it on this picture here, but a lot of people I notice they don't edit skin too much, but it's always good to edit your skin on your object, your person. Just the little things really do matter, because I do notice when people are uploading to Instagram. I'm kind of a critic. I mean, I do notice people that don't edit skin, and I do think that their pictures could be 100 times better. But not only does spot remove work just for skin, it works for, you know, just removing dirt here and there. Alright, that works. Alright, let's go ahead and get into this little vintage feel. Go ahead and give it a little exposure. I'm not going to do too much. I'm going to add a lot of contrast. And we will be taking that away, but we will be leaving it. It's a little confusing. So again, I'm going to do like a Z. So I'm going to take these highlights down quite a bit. It's cool right there. This is a counter. It kind of counters your contrast. You add it, but you also take it away with this. And that's okay. Go ahead and bring the whites down a little. And we'll leave the blacks alone. That'll be fine for now. Clarity, always drop that a little. Vibrance, let's let's leave that alone. And we're gonna add some saturation to this one. We're not gonna add too much though. That'll probably be good, about 10. Let's get this back to where it was. Alright, let's head into saturation. For this vintage feel, let's go ahead and desaturate some orange now, so those aren't overbearing. That'll probably be good. Go ahead and take down some yellows. Actually, let's take a little more. Greens, if there's greens, I'm just going to take that down just because. Some of my aquas and blue, I'm going to take that down a little. I do want to desaturate my blue. We're mainly focused on the blue right here and watching the skin tone, so I'll take the blue down. That'll probably be good. We'll leave the magentas and purples alone. Head into hue. And let's go ahead and change our reds. Never want to change them too much, like I said earlier. That'll probably be good there. I might be able to show y'all what saturation really does. Yeah, so check out the lips here. I added that much. You can really see, you really don't ever want to play with that too much. It can really hurt the lips. So back into hue where we were. Orange, let's give that a plus. That'll be good there. Same with yellow, we'll give that a plus or so. Greens, if there were greens, I would take these down. I don't know, about probably there. Could take out some aquas. There might be a little in the blue, not too much. Take this blue down, really change the color. Let's get it down to about here. That looks sweet. And let's take up your purples and your magentas. Alright, and heading into luminance. Let's give that a plus. We'll take down our yellows, make them a little darker. That'll be good. If you have greens, I would always take down the greens a little bit. I'll leave those kind of alone, leave them at 9, that'll be fine. Blues, actually those are fine, we'll leave it there. Alright, let's do the highlight. Let's take this and do a warm highlight. Go around the 40s or so, that'll work right there, 39. And we'll give it a 5. We don't want too much. Shadows, let's do a warm, but let's do more than what it was. So let's go like 72, yeah, that works. And we'll give this a little more than the highlights. Alright, looking good. And last but not least, the tone curve. So let me give it 3 points on this one. Let's go ahead and drop this a tad bit. Go ahead and raise your shadows, forgot that one. Raise that just a tad, not too much. We'll leave the middle point alone. You can raise this one just a tad as well, not too much. And we'll go ahead and leave that the highlight alone. And then go ahead and head into the green. We're going to skip the red and the blue. And we're going to be adding a sort of hint of magenta into our color, and it's not going to be very much. It's going to be just very subtle. So we're going to, not quite here, we're going to move down just a tad, almost into your shadows, almost into your, like your darks, that's what it's called. So we'll go into your darks on the green. Not quite shadows, this is called darks. We're going to move this down to where we start to see that white paper turn a little hint of magenta, a little purple. And that does it for that. Let's go ahead and show a before and after. Looks pretty good. Give it some more exposure. $30. Sweet, looks cool with me. Here's a before and after, and before and after. Alright, and I'm going to show you these presets. I have made them for you, and I'm going to show you what they look like on a few other pictures. So here was a model. She was actually a photographer at an Instagram meetup with Hive Creatives. I saw her and I was like, hey, let me take a picture. I know you're a photographer. It might be weird, but let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and show you what I'm going to show you this one right here as a preset, what it would look like on this. It's probably going to be a little overexposed. It kind of looks cool though with the overexposed, with her dark hair and blonde hair. I think it kind of really fits. It looks really nice together. Do it before and after. That's pretty sweet. Let's go ahead and reset that. Let's go into this one. 4:5 crop. Pull that down just a little. I'm going to show you the vintage one, what it looks like outdoors. It kind of looks pretty cool, I think. Maybe a little too much in the blues, so I would take the saturation down in the blues a little bit. That would be cool. Add some exposure. Drop the contrast. You know. And I'll show you what number 2 looks like. This one you'd probably need to add a little more orange to the skin, and you would get them before and after. Looks pretty sweet. And this one, let's try out number 2 again, which was that one. Kind of what it looks like with an overexposed background. Number 2 again, because number 2 is my favorite. Go ahead and up this one. I actually had this one posted to my Instagram. Most of these have been posted. Yeah, it looks like most of these have been posted to my Instagram, but the studio shot, I love this picture a lot. Just playing with the colors here, kind of what that one would look like. So yeah, these 3 Lightroom presets, I haven't showed you this one yet. I will show you in a second. We have these 3 Lightroom presets. If you want to get these for yourself, there will be a link in the description where you can download them for yourself. I also added this one to the pack, yeah, which I didn't show you yet, which I will go ahead and show you right now, kind of what it looks like. This is another sort of vintage feel. I didn't obviously show you how to edit this one, but it does look really cool, in my opinion. Let's get this vintage look. It would even look even better with a little bit more contrast. So yeah, when you do hit the link, it will take you to a page, and we are going to be selling these only for $3, and this is kind of really important to us, and it was in thought of you guys, since we only made them $3. Pretty much they're kind of $1 each for the 3, which is, you know, about, it's actually less than the cost of a iTunes song. We know money can be kind of hard on people, and we've seen the guys that sell 6 presets for, you know, $75. So we just wanted to be kind of the cool guys here. So if you did want to pick these up for yourself, let's go ahead and I'll show you what you what the link takes you to. It'll take you to this right here, and it'll say this is what you get in the pack. It will be the first two that I showed you how to edit, and then it'll give you this kind of bonus one, and then how to install. Like I said, $3, and then there also is a pay what you want. If you are feeling generous, you could do anything you wanted, but we started off at $3. We wanted to make them really cheap for you guys. That's that on that. So let us know if you used any of the 3 presets on a picture that you created by tagging both me, Andrew P, on Instagram, and Hive Creatives. Tag both of us. Hive and I are really interested, like honestly, really are interested in knowing what you've created, especially if you've used these 3 presets. I really do want to see you guys' work. If you like my workflow, you can go ahead and follow me, and because I do post every day. Also, be sure to follow and keep up with Hive Creatives Instagram. There's so much content coming for you guys, and even things you can get involved in. You don't want to miss out, really. Like the Instagram meets, like I talked about. Big things are happening at Hive, so make sure you keep up. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the thumbs up for the Hive page if it helped you out, and also make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on anything else. Thank you guys.